You may not be getting the best rate that's available to you. So much due diligence requirements to be able to walk you through the entire process, paying more in closing costs. Made us get 2 mortgages. Are you trying to find the best mortgage rate? Are you unsure of working with a bank versus a mortgage broker and who will provide you the best deal? Well, stick around and I'm going to break down the pros and cons of each, what's going to be the best fit for your situation, and how I find the best mortgage rates. This video actually hits quite close to me. You see, I became a real estate agent because my family went through a terrible experience to do with mortgages. Over 20 years ago, my parents bought a new development in the city. The developer introduced us to a mortgage broker. This broker was unscrupulous and made us get 2 mortgages. The secondary mortgage had a 16% interest rate. If we didn't close in the amount of time that the developer required us to do it, we would have lost our down payment. And with prices so high in New York, that was a lot of money. In conclusion, it was a terrible thing that my family went through, and it affected us for many years to come. And this is why I hope these videos are educational to you so that you will not go through what my family went through many years ago. So first up, what is the difference between a bank and a mortgage broker? Let's start with the bank first. A bank is a direct lender. You may see them on the corner of your street with a brick and mortar location. They may be a nationwide bank that's really well known like a Chase or Citibank, or they may be a local union like a credit union. So banks can be varied. The difference is that they are a direct lender. So they are the ones that actually are going to fund the purchase of your property. When you work with a bank, you're going to work with one of their employees called a loan officer, and they're the ones that are going to help give you the rate, tell you what the bank can offer. Now, the pro of working with the bank is that you are going to be working directly with the bank, and so there are no origination fees, which adds up to more closing costs for you. And sometimes they may even able to provide some closing cost credit to reduce your closing costs in addition. The con is that you are only getting one rate from one bank, so you may not be getting the best rate that's available to you in the marketplace. The other thing that I have experienced with working with just a direct lender is that sometimes they have so much due diligence requirements that it can get kind of tedious and stressful. They're working with a lot of deals, so they may not be able to walk you through the entire process and hold your hand as good as a mortgage broker can. So it depends on you whether you're okay with that and just trying to focus on working with one bank and getting a direct lender, or if you want more of the hand holding, you may want to consider a mortgage broker. So let's talk about mortgage brokers. A mortgage broker is a company or an individual that works as a middleman. They have access to many loan products from many different banks, and they're not limited to the traditional bank. They may even be able to work with investors and portfolio lenders, which are like private banks, and so they are much more flexible in the kind of programs that they can offer to you and your specific financial situation. The mortgage broker also has an incentive to get the deal closed, so they will be more hands-on and they will walk you through the process. The con of working with a mortgage broker is that you will most likely land up paying more in closing costs. The mortgage broker has to make money somehow, so they're going to most likely charge an extra fee. Now, sometimes a mortgage broker will actually collect that fee from the bank directly. The mortgage broker legally cannot double dip and charge the bank a fee and charge you, and they will disclose that in the closing statement. So it's best that you ask the mortgage broker who is paying your fee and how much is that fee. So working with a mortgage broker is as easy as liking this video and subscribing to this channel. If you're planning on buying a home soon in New York City, make sure to check out my Ultimate Buyer's Guide to the link below. I wish I had this when my family bought all those years ago. It walks you through from start to finish on how to buy a home in the city. So how do you get the best deal on a mortgage? My recommendation, shop around with at least 3 lenders. Shop around with the mortgage broker, a small bank in your local community, and a credit union. They tend to have the best deals. Make sure whoever you decide to work with, you know who you're working with in their bank. They should be local in your local area and have sold something or closed a deal that has similar to yours. So if you're buying a condominium in Manhattan, make sure that the loan officer and bank are based in New York and that they have closed a condominium similar to yours. The other thing I recommend is that make sure that you work with a loan officer or a mortgage broker that you get along with. The worst thing is to work with someone that doesn't respond to you, you have no idea what's going on, and at the end of the day, they delay your closing or they deny your application completely and don't give you the funding you need to close on your property. My recommendation if you're buying in New York City, make sure that you work with any lender that is based locally. So if you're working with a nationwide bank, make sure that they're working with the local loan officer of that bank that has recently closed similar type of property. So if you're going to work with, let's say for example, a Chase, make sure that the Chase representative, a loan officer, is based in New York and that they have closed on a property just like yours. So if you're closing on a condo, that they have done a condo deal like yours. Did I miss on any other pro tips? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to check out my awesome video, what is included for closing costs for buyers.